I'm just letting you guys know this is my second time filming this because apparently my camera was having like issues. So like I said, I'm Sunday, and if you watched any of the other videos, you know I just woke up from being dormant. So today we're going to talk about dormancy and exactly what it does for the system. So this is kind of my introduction video, the video on who I am, how I am, why I am, and kind of what I got from dormancy. So I am currently the alt host. That's what we call in our system. It's the alter that is the host at the moment, because our original host went dormant. In our system, we don't really see dormancy as a bad thing. We actually use it kind of as a coping mechanism, a tool to keep our system from breaking down. So whenever we start to exacerbate our emotional trauma, or we start to really embody that trauma, we have the tendency to go dormant and basically kind of use that time as to fix ourselves. So dormancy for us is a system self-care tool. So we use that to keep the physical body from being separated from our current stable situation. By that I mean our family unit, because we have children and we have a significant other. We would prefer that we don't spend long periods of time in the hospital trying to recover. So the one that is having the issue will go dormant. So I went dormant a month ago because of a situation, well, a compound of situations that kind of had me feeling not valid and kind of not real. The original situation was with the integration of Cammy and Aishan. Aishan, if you don't know, she's our host. And, the whole purpose of the system is to keep the host from finding out about serious trauma. Cammy was a serious trauma holder. Many of us are. So, the whole purpose of our system is to keep the host from having to deal with that trauma. So, Cammy meant a lot to me. She was my other half, my partner. So I always assumed, because of the trauma and everything, that if anything, Cammy would integrate with me because of the simple fact that I knew what she was dealing with and the trauma that she was carrying. And, you know, and that way we would be able to be together regardless. So when Cammy actually really did start having a really hard time and she found herself unable to go dormant, you know, she was struggling. And the accidental integration between Aishan and Cammy happened. It was just a simple moment of Aishan showing empathy for Cammy that caused the integration. And for a few weeks after that, Aishan struggled with knowing what had happened, and that's only a small piece. So when we originally, this is when we went to our therapist, and you know, we were going to a therapist for quite a long time, and you know, we all expressed exactly what we were carrying and the issue, and the therapist pretty much said, you know, they suggest integration for most systems, but for our system they would suggest that we don't. So we haven't. Most of us who are in headspace, if integration is needed, we integrate amongst each other. We always leave the host out of it. And at that moment, I don't think Cammy had any control over what was happening to her. And she integrated, and that was it. And I can say I went dormant because, like I said, Cammy was my other half. She was a big part of my life, and I was kind of hurt that first off the integration happened, and second of all, it didn't happen between me and her. So it was kind of like I lost my other half. So yeah, it bothers me. It still bothers me, but now I'm okay with it because it just took me some time during the dormancy to kind of collect myself, you know, go through the whole breakup process, if you want to say it that way. Like humans break up with somebody, like, and then all of a sudden they have this long, like, mourning, grieving, upset process. And the way I process things sometimes is very hurtful to the body. So I chose not to do that and cause a crisis in the system, in our family. So I went dormant. So I can say, because that was my first time ever going dormant, and I've been in the system 20 years now, that I gained a lot from going dormant. I know there's a question, I'm looking at my notes. Can alter wake up from being dormant? Of course, dormancy is more like sleep. It's a system self-care type of thing. When we start to break down, we go dormant. So that is exactly what I did. So of course you can come back from dormancy. Now I'm speaking to those alters who are considering it. Every alter's dormancy is different. It's according to what you're trying to get out of being dormant. It's according to how severely you're really breaking down and having those issues. So a dormant could be as simple as a week or as long as a lifetime. But again, it's based off the system. It's based off the issue that is causing the dormancy. So yeah, so I woke up from dormancy. I can't say in our system where you spend your dormant time is very peaceful. Our dormant area is like behind this door, and it's kind of like a meadow with flowers and bubbles and like little balls of light and stuff. So during the day it's very bright, and then at night it's like dark and super pretty and like neon colors and fields of like vibrant colored flowers. For me, being dormant was kind of like just sleeping. You know how when you sleep and like you'll wake up and you'll look around and you'll see stuff for a little bit, and then like this calm comes over you and you go back to sleep. So that's kind of how it was. So a few times I woke up, it was like daytime, and I could see the little bubbles and the little balls of light like floating everywhere, and I could smell the flowers, and then I just felt warm and calm, and I kind of went back to sleep. And then I remember like twice I woke up and at night, and it was just those vibrant flower colors, and it was just so beautiful. And it was like this big like 3 moons in the sky, and it was like a purplish, bluish, twinkly, like glitter sky. It was just beautiful, and I remember feeling very calm and very safe and warm and like controlled, and then I went back to sleep. But what happened was I could sense and kind of smell fear from our system. So as a protector, I kind of felt the need to wake up and return back to what my job is, and that is to protect the system. Now, upon waking up, I was very disoriented and confused and like just out of it. I remember sitting in headspace at the table, and I saw Shiloh walk by, and she looked up, and then she was kind of like, "You're awake?" And I'm like, "I guess." Okay, so like I was saying, got interrupted by the system's children. yeah, she came in, she saw I was sitting at the table. Shiloh was surprised that I was awake. And she basically gave me the rundown of everything that was going on. So, I got to, at that point, a little background on what had happened. And I felt a little still foggy, but I knew I had to take on the host role. So the real thing that I learned from this is that we should have more organization, really, in regards to the host, because it's very distressing to the system when we don't have leadership in place. So again, I just took over and asserted that I was the host, the alt host, not the original host. So that was one thing. Let me look at my notes, because I'm kind of not on track as it is. So, okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much the video. The main thing that we get out of it is just the breakdown of, we stop the breakdown of our system. It's very difficult sometimes to control each individual and how they present. And some individuals can't really be host, even though they think they'll be really good at it. Their mannerisms are too drastically different than the host herself. Sorry about the noise. Again, I'm outside, and this is what happens when I'm out here. But I can't exactly do it inside because of all the kids. Yeah. So it was just basically to deal with my feelings on no longer having Cammy by my side. I'm not really okay with it. And I kind of got backlash because at that moment, I lashed out at Aishan, and I really didn't think about it. I didn't, say, oh, she just had more trauma. She just realized that she had trauma to her system. I just added to the trauma. So now I kind of feel like a dick. And I feel like I'm the reason why she's dormant, and because I lashed out at her and then everybody else lashed out at me, and then that's when I was kind of like, I realized I needed to process what was going on better, and I chose to go dormant. I really didn't think that anything I said to Aishan was harsh, but now after my period of dormancy, I realized that she was already dealing with trauma, and then I just kind of brought more stress and trauma to her within the same few moments. So if she sees this video at some point, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And I was hurt, and I miss Cammy, and wasn't gonna do this without her or you, and I'm just really sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. And that's all I have to say. I'm pretty done with this.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business.